Bond-Hopson and
Cassandra Fuller.
We welcome you to 6 in the City.
That's right.
On a steamy hot day.
Oh my gosh, it's so hot.
Maybe things will cool down at some point.
I hope so.
We're going to find out about a brand new book that is coming out, and we're going to talk to Dr. Cynthia Bond-Hopson, and she also has a special guest with her, and that's Miss Susie A. Taylor Ashworth. They are from Haywood County, and it's the women of Haywood, their lives and our legacy, and we'll find out about this book. We're also going to talk about the walked-in Alzheimer's that's coming up. The kickoff party is going to be coming up soon. Susan Krausen is with us with the Alzheimer's Association, and David Allred with West Tennessee Healthcare is with us as well. So we're going to talk to them. And
guess what time of year it is?
What time of year is it?
It's time for the Jamboree. Leanne Wright is here. She's the sports medicine coordinator with the Sports Rehab Center, and she's here to talk about the Jamboree that's coming up this Friday. Also, Chef Josh is here. He's the executive chef at the Jackson-Madison County General Hospital. Apparently, there's a demo coming up at the farmer's market.
At the farmer's market this coming Saturday. We'll find out about that. Speaking of the Jamboree, Jay Walker's with us. He is with State Farm, and they're going to do a special emphasis at the on team driving.
Something special going on
at the Jamboree, so we'll find out about that. And
Sharonda Green is here. She's with the YMCA. She's here to talk about their 155th birthday celebration.
There are things older than me in this city.
Finally.
You finally ran into one. Plus,
do you remember the opening of it?
Plus, it is telethon time.
That's
this coming Sunday,
Circle
the 12th. Rita McCaslin and Wes Henley are with us, and we're going to do all of that on this 6 in the City. Utility infrastructure often coordinates with streets and highways. Much of the work performed by utility crews is done in proximity to traffic. Tennessee has added utility crews to the mandated clearance for emergency and law enforcement personnel. When lights are flashing, crews are working, traffic should move over an additional lane. If a lane gap is not available, traffic should slow. The Jackson Energy Authority thanks the drivers of Jackson for your cooperation in Move Over Tennessee, promoting the work and safety of JEA personnel.
The Jackson Sun is now available on every device you carry or don't carry. All things West Tennessee in all media 24/7. Subscribe now for full access.
At First South Bank, we believe banking is a personal relationship business.
I understand there is nothing more personal than your money.
Our bank does its part to make our community strong.
That is why we ensure that your money is invested in the lives and the businesses that operate right here in our community. We believe there is no higher return than investing in you and our community.
Stop by and let us show you why we believe banking is still a people business.
Welcome back to 6 in the City. We're going to talk about the women of Haywood, their lives, our legacy, with Dr. Cynthia Bond-Hopson and Miss Susie A. Taylor Ashworth, who are both with us. It's good to have you both here.
Thank you so much.
This book is coming out this coming Sunday, which will be the 12th. There will be a signing at the Delta Heritage Center, which is off exit 56 on Interstate 40 from 3 until 5. And so that's going to be the launch of this book. And then after that, Dr. Hopson says you can get this book everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. All right. So we can go on Amazon, worldwide, whatever. But the signing is coming up then the 12th at the Delta Heritage Center off exit 56, just north of the interstate. If you haven't visited, it's worthwhile going by and visit. How did this book come about?
I was a doctoral student at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale during the 90s, and I had the sociology of gender class. And my professor asked me what was I interested in. Well, I didn't know because nobody had ever asked me what was I interested in. But I was trying to figure out images of African-American women in the media, and so I'm not quite sure how I ended up with the Women of Haywood, but anyway, that's how it started. I had this class, and I had to have a project, and so I did the first interview with Mrs. Mamie Bowles-Dotson, who had been my first grade teacher, and she taught first grade for 43 years at the same school. And she was the only college-educated woman in our whole community. And to watch what she did to transform it and transform us was just amazing. And so I started with her.
So the book is a compilation of these interviews that you've done with quite a few women of Haywood.
Only 4.
Only 4.
Only 4.
Wow.
Only 4. I was looking at professional African American women, and I didn't know Mrs. Ashworth personally. I had heard of her husband because he was a teacher in the Haywood County system, and so I knew the name, but I had not met her. And my friend Cynthia Bond, who is a businesswoman in Brownsville, hooked me up with the other 3 women.
Okay.
They were personal friends of hers, and so she suggested the 3 of them, and so that's how I came to know Mrs. Susie Ella Taylor Ashworth.
So what is your background then, Ms. Ashworth?
I was a beautician.
Okay.
Beautician.
All right. So what attracted you to her? What?
Well, there were not many things for African American women to do.
Right.
And so we were looking at the professions, and one of the women, Mrs. Eva James Davis Rawls, was a registered nurse, and then Mrs. Nola Walker Bond was an activist, teacher, businesswoman. Right. And so